Welcome to a fun game I like to call Watch My Hair Get Dry. When you get started working in movies, when you get started working in movies, television shows, indie films, short films, projects, commercials, whatever, you're gonna start to meet a lot of new people. It takes a village to do this stuff. And there's gonna be a lot of people and a lot of acronyms, and they're gonna expect you to know them all. So, I'm making this video. So there's a lot of people who work on sets, but you're not gonna interact with them all. I've pared down the most important acronyms in film and put it into your journey. You know what I mean? Who are you gonna talk with first? Who are you gonna talk with when you get on set? So, this is the 27 acronyms you're gonna meet on set. How many people does he need? How many boys, how many girls, how many people does he? Let's jump right in. So, you're emailing, you saw the casting call, you reached out, you're on backstage.com, whatever. The first people you are generally going to talk to are your... Who are the first people you're going to talk to? Your CD and your ACD. These are your casting director and your assistant casting director. These are going to be the people reaching out, giving you sides, setting up appointments. Casting. We know this. We got this. 2 down. 25 to go. If your conversation with the CD and the ACD goes well, you might get emailed something called an LOA. An LOA is your letter of agreement. This might detail your pay, your stipend, the hours you might work. They're going to ask for a pretty little signature. They're going to sign it. You get to keep a copy for your records. LOA. Your audition went great, everything's cool, you cleared your schedule, you signed your LOA. Now you might start getting emails with lots of other people, other extras, other actors that are carbon copied to the producer. Now I think we can all guess who the producer is and what they do. All right, who you might not know yet is the EP. The EP is the executive producer. The executive producer, I kind of think of as like quality control. Like they're there to make things a success. Now, the executive producer isn't someone you're going to be seeing every day. You might get some emails with them. You will probably see them the first day and the last day. EP, executive producer. Then, so we have the producer, we have the EP, the executive producer. Now we have someone called the associate producer. AP, associate producer. All right. They do things like talent scouting, kind of, location scouting. So like, they're casting, but they're not. They're location and they're not. You see it? You know what I mean? Talent, location, associate production. You read all these emails, you've counted down the days, and the day is here. You're going on set. Not yet. You're going to holding. You're in holding. Now comes the fun part. You are probably gonna get something called a W-9 and or a 1099 form. These are, you can probably guess what these are. This is your paperwork. This is your IRS form. This is your tax stuff. I don't get how it works, but this makes sure you get paid for every hour you worked. If you don't fill this out, there's a $50 fine on production. So they're like really key about you filling this out. I'm not like an expert, so like don't quote me, but I think the way I understand it, a W-9 form and a 1099 form are both like freelance forms. As you're a freelance artist and you're working, you might be working multiple days on a set or on a shoot, of course, but this is the classification of that paperwork. And you're okay, so this is like a whole thing. But if you haven't done a shoot before, make sure to look up what identification forms you need for your W-9 or your 1099. As a general rule, make sure you have your social security number. They probably won't ask for your card. As long as you have your number, you're usually okay. Anyway, social security number, driver's license. If you don't have a driver's license, state issued ID, like if you have a, state ID, passport. If you're really desperate, bring a copy of your birth certificate. Now, they will have people looking at these forms. Some people are like specifically trained to do it. Some people are assistants and they're gonna be like, you have the papers, okay, cool, go. What you're gonna be doing is copying down the numbers from these official forms to make sure that you're a real person. W-9, 1099 money forms. So you're sitting and holding, and maybe you're having your bagel. This is about the time, usually if you're a principal or a day player, and sometimes even if you are an extra, you start meeting the directing crew. Now, we know who a director is. I'm talking about the funky acronyms. Anachronisms. This whole thing is an acronym. I'm talking about your funky acronyms, baby. So you're in Holden. One of the first people I don't want to say first. One of the earliest people you might meet in the day is your first key AD. All right, first key AD. This is the first assistant director. Now, this is the person I say first because usually this is the person that's going to be like, all right, come on, because they're in charge of scheduling time. First key AD. Another acronym, someone you might meet if you work on like a big set, lots of people, big production, is the second key AD. This is the second key assistant director. Say it with me now. With a big set, the second key assistant director, yeah, I'm right. Second key assistant director does like making sure people are in wardrobe when they need to be in wardrobe, making sure people are in makeup when they need to be in makeup. They can also be in charge of making and sending out call sheets. So I guess you might interact with them before your first day of holding, because they might be emailing you. Oh, you thought we were done with the directing squad? No, we are not. Then there is the second AD. No key by their name. Interesting. The second assistant director. God, this is confusing. The second assistant director, as you can probably guess, is the assistant to the assistant to the... It's the assistant to the second key assistant director. The second AD. They are the assistant to the second AD, and they primarily make sure that extras and vehicles are where they need to be. So like they are really integral to like group scenes, like big productions, big background shots. You get the idea. So you filled out your paperwork, you mingled with the directing squad. Oh my goodness gracious. It's time for hair and makeup, baby. Costume, hair, makeup. Again, you might have already heard from some of these people, like the CD and the ACD. Those acronyms sound familiar. This is the costume designer and the assistant costume designer. Context clues, you can figure it out, baby. So you might have gotten an email from the CD or the ACD, costume designer and assistant costume designer, if they need you to bring certain costume pieces from your closet to set. They want to know your sizes, things like that. You also have your CS. This is the costuming supervisor. This is the person where they're like, okay, everyone line up, and you all get in the line and they're like, yep, good. This is the person who does like basically last checks before you even go onto set in the room with the cameras. Now, aiding the process, you're probably gonna like meet tons of people in costuming that are helping you, and they're not all costume designers. These are CPAs. No, they're not accountants. These are costuming personal assistants. These can be people that get the pair of socks you need, get the belt that you need. If the costume designer is busy, you get the deal. They help you. One acronym you should know if you're having makeup applied or whatever is the KMA. This is the key makeup artist. Now, this person might not necessarily be like applying a prosthetic or doing old age makeup on you, but this is the makeup designer for the shoot. Very good, talented, beautiful person. And then to round off the big old group is our AAs. I beg your pardon? To round off the group is the AAs. If you are looking at a call for AAs or you see an AA, these are additional artists. Costuming, hair, makeup, additional artists. They're great. Now you've done your paperwork. You've mingled. Your hair is beautiful. Your costume's perfect. It's time. You're going on set, baby. And this is where things get confusing, for me, at least. Again, I've pared this list down a lot to people that you'll directly be interacting with. Some of these roles are interchangeable. Some of these people will be doing the same thing. You might not ever talk to these people, but these are names and titles and acronyms that you are going to hear on set. So you should know what's going on. So I included them. Also, 27 is a cool number. So, page 2, we are starting off strong with our SP. The SP is the script supervisor. The SP, yeah, script supervisor. SP, script supervisor. Anyway, so the script supervisor is in charge of a lot of dramaturgical work. So like, okay, here's a prop that we need. Okay, here's a costume that we need. Okay, here's pictures of the costume on day 1 so they look the same day 2. This is how the blood splattered on prop 1, and we need a copy of that, so we need props 2 and 3 to have the exact same blood splatter. This person is in charge of continuity. When you're shooting a film or a TV show or whatever, you're gonna be doing a lot of scenes out of order. So someone's gotta make sure the continuity and the overall filming makes sense as like a cohesive storyline. The script supervisor is an amazing person, very important person. I'm in love with them. SP. It's time for camera, folks. It's time for camera, folks. Who is first on the camera, folks? We have our DP. The DP is the director of photography, also sometimes referred to as a cinematographer. DP, director of photography. Then you have the A camera op. A camera op. Letters are coming into this with the like we had letters because acronym. A camera op. The A camera op is the person behind the main camera. This is the person recording you. Now the A camera op and the DP, the director of photography, sometimes are the same person. Either way, this is the person that kind of sees the film before the director even sees the film. Yeah, A camera op. And then we have the B camera op. A camera op, B camera op. You know who the B camera op is. The B camera op has the 90-pound vest with the funny little... This is the steady cam operator. This person makes sure everything is smooth and beautiful on camera. They have a very difficult job. I am so sorry. B camera op. Camera assistants. We have our camera assistants. Camera assistants. So we have our first ACs. This is where the acronyms stop making sense to me. Sorry. The first AC is a camera's first assistant. This is the person who is refocusing. This is the person who never looks at you. Okay, so I'm no camera person, but I think the way this works is they refocus the lenses based on the action, but they're not looking at the actors to figure out the action. They're looking at the marks on the floor. So this is the person that's like... Then you have your second AC. This is a camera's second assistant. Okay, listen. This, as far as I know, is the person who does things like the clapperboard, like batteries, like rigs, lenses, like, I think. So you're on set, you're acting, there's all these cameras, but oh, what's this? There's also all these lights. Let's talk about our electricians. Yes. Yeah. I'm sorry. When talking about lighting, but also when you're on set, the person I hear called for the most is someone named Gaffer. Now, for the longest time, I had no idea what Gaffer meant. I was like, Gaffer, gaff, like set dresser, like gaff, like a mistake. The gaffer is the main person in charge of lights. This is lighting design, this is gels, this is placement of lamps, this is shadow, this is making the house look like it's nighttime, even though it's 6 in the morning, or bad example, even though it's 12 in the afternoon. So the gaffer is lighting. Then comes my favorite name, Best Boy Electric. So you've probably heard of things like Best Boy Grip. Best Boy Electric It's similar. It's the assistant to the gaffer. So this is the person who's getting batteries, getting gels, making sure everything's all set up. We're almost done. This is so quick. Oh, we are speedy. Look at what a difference it makes when you have like everything like planned out what you're gonna say instead of just like ranting in front of a camera for 18 minutes. Then you have, okay, I lied about Best Boy Electric. My favorite name is Lamp Pop. And you say, well, Lamp Pop. Lamp Pops are also called juicers? All right. So lamp pops also are called juicers, and they're also sometimes just called electricians. Kind of like the assistant to the best boy, like, you know, the run around, the getting the batteries, making sure you have juice, making sure things are plugged in, making sure things are set up and aren't gonna fall on the actors. Electrician, juicer, lamp pop. We have 2 more. This is at the end of your journey. You were on set. You acted beautifully. You didn't get in the way of the dolly shot. Everything was fine. It was great. It was on schedule. You got paid, or you're going to get paid in 2-ish weeks. Great. Now comes like post-production, but like not really post-production because like actors aren't really involved in post-production. After the shoot happens, there are 2 more people. Now we have the DIT. This is the Digital Imaging Technician. And you might say to me, why do I need to know who the DIT is when the DIT makes sure cameras are set and they back up the footage from the day's shoot? I'll tell you why. Because one day you might get an email that says the DIT has a problem with your shot. May God help you. And the last, not least, number 27, my favorite person, the person you really don't want to piss off. You don't want to piss off anyone, but don't piss off do you remember my dog? This is my dog. You don't want to piss off anyone, but the person you really don't want to piss off is your stills photographer. The stills photographer is either the first person you're going to meet or the last person you're going to meet 3 months after the shoot because they need press photos. You might say that was an anticlimactic, slightly shoehorned ending, but I say you're a shoehorned ending. I hope this helped a little bit. Good luck on set, kids. Don't break anything. It's really expensive.